Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to paint this beautiful baby deer color fawn. And I'm going to show you some easy techniques to paint this gorgeous painting today. So let's get started. So all you need for this painting is, I have burnt umber, and I have cad red, and I have cad yellow, and I have titanium white, and I also have some ultramarine blue. This one's Windsor blue, but ultramarine blue is much better. So, and I also have some nice brushes for you to use, and this will make your painting a lot simpler. I have a flat synthetic brush, chiseled edge, and I have a flat Filbert brush, which is chiseled edge and synthetic, and I also have a liner brush, and a long one and a short one. You need a couple of different brushes just in case some don't work out for you, so it's nice to have a few extra brushes around. And that's about it for the brushes. If we come up with something else, I'll guide you along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pattern and I'm going to lay it on my canvas. I have a wrap. I'm just using carbon paper. Now you can use chalk, would probably work. You put chalk on the back of it. And I'm going to draw it out. Down here is going to be all grass. There's no sense wasting time or energy to put in legs and things down here because it's going to be all covered up. So I'm just going to make it as easy as I can, mainly the head and the body. And there we go. So you just take it off and get it ready to paint. To make it easy, I'm going to start with the eyes and the nose. That's the black areas, okay? And once we get that done, then we can move on to the body, or maybe we'll do the ears. I like to do it in little pieces rather than try to do the whole thing and then go back over it. So let's start off with the eyes and the nose first, and we'll use black paint for that. I'm just going to throw in some black paint. I have a small brush, small round brush. Now use whatever brush that works for you, okay? Whatever tickles your fancy. And we're going to try to paint this beautiful little fawn, I guess a fawn or a deer, baby deer, whatever you want to call it. And we will fill in the eyes. It's the first thing to do. Inside the ears, that's where we'll start. And I'm going to put on some burnt sienna. and burnt sienna, and I'm going to add some water to that, so it won't be, because I want to put on some, we call it a glaze first, or a wash. Trying to find the right words so that you can understand what I'm saying. And I'm just going to put that in here. I leave some white, kind of for shadows. That's nice, isn't it? And a bit over here. See where it's nice and watery, it's more transparent. But we can go back over that if we need to. So I'm just leaving some white of the canvas. All right. That's pretty. Good. So when you're doing different areas, like smaller areas, use your small round brush or small flat brush, as long as it can fit into the area that you're working on. And I just changed over to this brush here. It's an angular brush. I like angular brushes. Great for flowers and for all these things that you want to do, because it has that nice little tip on it that will help you get in. See right there. Let's see. Get right into the edge here and down and over here. See? So now when we do the head, we can get around that area. Then we can use the tip to come on down around the face. So you have some options with that brush. Now we want to make sure the face is dry. If the face is not dry yet, we can work on, maybe put some paint on the back of the body here. I'm not going to put the spots on yet. I'm going to wait until I put on my first coat of paint, and then we can put the spots on after we get the body done the way we want it, and we'll put the spots on after. You can also use masking fluid. It's only a matter of dipping your top of your brush or the back of your brush into the masking fluid and putting it on your deer like that and let it dry. And when it dries, then you paint over it. And then when the paint is dry and everything is dry, you just take off the masking fluid and you have your white spots already there for you. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it, but I just want to let you know about it. As you can see, most of my paints and everything I use is Dollar and Rowney or Liquid-X. They're my two favorite, in case you're wondering. And I do have all my paints and everything that I use in my Amazon shop, and I'll leave a link to that for you. So I'm going to do the same thing with the body. I'm going to use my burnt sienna, and I'm going to add a bit of water to it. Same brush, but you can, like I said, whatever brush tickles your fancy and whatever works for you, you go ahead and try different brushes, because I don't want to say to you, you have to use this type of brush or that type of brush. I'll give you some helpful hints and things, but your canvas could be bigger or smaller than mine. There's so many different reasons why I use certain brushes. Depends on a lot of things. Let's see that nice watery look. It's almost like a watercolor painting. Look, see that? Isn't that pretty? Now, so this transparent paint will be nice for our underpainting because we have put shadows in there to give it a shape. Right now, this is really nice. That way, if you start off with a really dark, thick paint, you can't really make much adjustments, but at least with this nice transparent color, you can make adjustments. I'm not going to use my magic white today because I want things to dry pretty fast. When you use the magic white when you want things to stay wet for a long time, so you can keep working. But I just want to get this to dry fast so I can put the shadows on it. Now, you can still use the magic white to help it blend better, But if you get more experience at painting, then blending is not a problem. So you can also mist your canvas to keep it flowing. Okay. See? Now, so we'll do the same now with the head. I'm going to mist my canvas, my palette. See all the water? See the water? Look at that. It's almost like watercolor. Like I say, it's nice to get started this way. It's almost like an underpainting. Now that black should be dry. Make sure it's dry because it can really mess up your painting if it gets mixed in with your color. Use a hair dryer if you have to. Now, it's cute already. Good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a few little shadows in. I'm just going to start slowly. I'm going to add a bit of my burnt umber. If you don't have burnt umber and you don't have burnt sienna, just use whatever brown you have there, and you can lighten up your brown with a bit of yellow. Yellow's nicer than white, and or you can use white, or you can use both. I mean, you have to practice. You have to actually experiment. All right, it's really hard to say, okay, we'll do this and do that, but you really, really need to experiment with your colors. And I know not everybody out there has burnt umbers and burnt siennas. Burnt umber, you can use a brown and add a bit of black to it. That will bring it down way to a nice black color. See, a really dark brown. The burnt sienna, you can use whatever brown you have on hand, add a little bit of red or yellow to it. I think the yellow would be nice. Now, I'm just mixing up my paint. And I got it a little darker by adding my burnt umber. See, now I'm going to put that in here behind the ear. And that's why I like this angular brush. See, I can get into the angles. And this little bit over here. It's got a nice sharp edge to it. See, it has a chiseled edge. Like I said, use whatever. If you have a chiseled edge flat brush, use it. Good. And we'll get a little shadow here. There we go. Let's just add a little bit of shadow on the edges here for now. So we're making decisions as we go along, okay? Just making decisions where we think things will work nice. We'll decide where our light is coming from, and that will help you make a decision on where your shadows are. So we'll say the light is coming from the right, maybe. And the shadows will be, if it skips over that part of the body, then it'll be lighter over here. We'll see now. Decide where you want your shadow. I'm going to put a little bit of shadow here on the back here. It's just to get the shape of the body too, the darks and the lights. Put it here. Separate his face from the back, or his back. There we go. I'm just scrubbing at that edge here so it won't be a sharp line there. Okay? And a little bit. I'm just doing the edges now, okay? Just the edges where lines are. Good. Nice. I'm going to add a little white and maybe a tiny bit of blue just to put around the white parts of the deer. Where are you? There you are. Put around the white parts because you have to have some color in order to show white. Whenever you're making white, you have to have, it could be brown on it, could be mixed in with a bit of brown or a bit of blue or a bit of anything, as long as it has some color. Because if you don't, you won't be able to see the white. It'll be just like what you're seeing there on the canvas. So we're just going to say this is a bit of a furry area here. So just fill that in. And his little tail, his or hers, and under here, and under the nose, around there. Good. So now that when that dries, we will put white on there. While we're waiting for the white, I'm not sure if I'm finished with this part yet, so I won't put the white dots on yet. But I'm going to bring out his eyes a bit better now. So I'm back to my little round brush. You can use a toothpick for this. Dipping into my white. Picked up a little tiny bit of blue with it, so it won't be just a white chalky look. And I'm going to pick a spot. Let's see. This is sort of in the middle. Alright. So if you use a toothpick, you'll get a better control of it. I got pretty big spots here, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Alright. Good. Now I'm going to put a little bit of burnt sienna on my brush and put a little bit around the eye just to make it look more so it's not so flat black. Put a little bit around the eye there, okay? That way you can round it up a little bit more too. That's better. Might even add a little tiny bit of yellow. See, all these little tiny details helps. Just want to bring the eyes out because they're kind of flat black and I don't want that. Do you? Just bring out the eye a bit more. If you mess up your white section in your eye, just go back over with black or the brown and tap into it again. Okay, it's a bit better. I think that's a bit better. So now we are going to add a little shadow to the face. All right, so you can use the angular brush again or a flat brush. All right, so let's go with, let's go with our burnt umber, burnt sienna. I don't want it too dark. Let's give this little guy some shadow. How about we make it easy and take it from the eye, like we're going to make the letter V. How about that? I think that might work. Let's go with the letter V. And we will fill it in. And we will bring it right up to that head part there. We'll fill that in a little bit more up here just to give it another coat. Oh, that's nice. That gives it a more of a shape of a face. That is so cool. And what I'm going to do is wipe off my brush, and I'm going to add some burnt sienna. So I'm going to go into my burnt sienna, and nice and wet. All right, and I'm going to put a little bit on the side of the face so we'll know where the face is. And here, you just outline the face, that's all. See how I'm trying to make decisions? And that's what you're going to do. Make decisions. Trying to see what would look best, and so I'm just putting it around the eye a little bit there. So I'll be putting some lights around the eye too. And I want it really light here. So I'm going to add more water. I'm not going to add paint. I'm going to add more water. Alright, and that will be more of a see-through look. There we go. Alright, so now it's nice. We are going to lighten that up again now a little while. Good. So I'm just taking my angular brush with a little bit of burnt umber. And I think I'll outline this area here. You could have did that when you're putting on your shadows, okay? So you decide when you want to start outlining. Well, if you're following the video, you're going to follow what I do, so. And as you can see, my decisions might be different than yours. So I'm just here to try to guide you along, but you make your own decisions. So if you watch the video first, and you can, that's what I do. If I want to see if I can pick up some new ideas or some new techniques, and I look at a video, then I will look at the video first, and then I'll try the technique after, okay? That's, even if you have to, you know, skim through it or whatever, just to get some idea what's going on first. Perfect. So now I'm going to put on a few highlights. We have our, I'm going to highlight that chin area there, over here, and on this side. We want to keep that dark in the center there, so I want to lighten this up a little bit here just to show. So I'm going to add that with my burnt sienna with a bit of white and yellow. Just a little bit of white and yellow, okay? There we go. And I'm going to lighten that up a little bit here. And if that's not light enough, we'll go back and get some more white or yellow. Good. A little more white. See, it gives it a bit of a highlight. And over here. Okay, good. And a little bit over here. I'm doing this so I can get the center part there to stay dark. I'm going to add more white. Add more white. As you see, I'm adding white to the color I already mixed, but I'm adding more white to get it really bright. But yet I'm leaving in some of that tan color. I'm just going to add a bit of white to the eyes here. I got my chiseled edge. Add more white if you need it. Isn't it cute? That's nice. Good. Now I'm going to add more white, just white this time to my brush. Use whatever brush, like I said, works for you. I'm going to put some streaks of white paint here to show that that's a kind of a furry spot. That's the tail. I'll leave that for now. I want to show you a little trick. And this. Just use the chiseled edge to bring it down and make it look like fur is going into a dark spot. And we will. So you might want to add a little bit of blue to your white. Just let me show you. So just take some blue and some blue and some white. I just tap into it so that you get, you know, kind of a bluish. See, when you tap in, you get your shadows and your white all same time, and you get a nice fluffy look to the tail. Okay, and add more white. But that blue gives it a bit of a shadow, see? These are already in with the lines, they're okay. And also over here, just tap. A little more blue if you need it. You can put on the blue first if you want, and then tap the white over it. That's why you need to watch the video first, because I'm always changing my mind. Alright, because I'm experimenting and making decisions just like you have to do, you know. But if you're following along, now make sure that you don't try to get it exactly like mine, because then you'll be frustrated and be like, I can't do it. Alright, so not to worry. I'll bring it up on the side a little bit. If that's a little too big, I'll fix that after. I'm not going to worry about it right now, but if you see something, you can fix it when you're ready. I think we need a little bit of brown down there, do you? Like I said, the grass is going to cover it up, so you don't have to worry too much about down those areas. I'm just going to fill in a little bit there, just so that we can see where the the body shape is. All right. Clean off your brush really good and then just scrub that in with the rest. Just scrub, scrub, scrub. That blends it all together, then see? All right, looking good. Add a little bit more burnt sienna and burnt umber up here a little bit, just to... So just using your liner brush or small round brush, go into your white with a little tiny bit of blue. Like I said, we don't want the white to be too chalky looking, so I always throw in a little bit of blue, right? Like that. Just a little bit of blue over here, not much. And there we go. And then I'm going to pick spots for the spots. Okay, so some are bigger than others, so you can just push hard. All right. I'll give you the reference photo and then you can follow along with that. Nice. All right. Good. So just pick up a bit of your white with a little bit of blue, like you said. I always try to, so we won't forget. Whenever you're using white, add a color to it so it won't be too chalky. All right, so let's go with a little bit of white on top of the nose here. Not right on top, but sort of quarter of the way down, what you call it. You can see it as I'm doing it here. All right, there, like that. And little highlight on the edge of the nostrils a little bit. If you mess up, just go back to black. That's okay. Not to worry. Okay? That's nice, isn't it? I think is it more of a... There we go, good. A little bit of white. Probably a little bit of fur or something on top of here. Kind of an outline up here too. That'll outline it, see? I think I'll leave it. It looks nice. There we go. Good. So that's our little fawn. Little deer, a baby deer.